The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
Eric's Family Barbecue has arrived and is simply the best barbecue in Arizona. Come satisfy your taste buds with meats that are smoked over mesquite wood and sides that are made with fresh ingredients and tons of love. They have the best, juiciest brisket, pulled pork, rib sausage, turkey, or everyone's favorite, the Pitmaster Sampler that includes all the meat and 4 sides. Mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, corn, or beans, yum. And for dessert, try some creamy banana pudding, amazing. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip, you won't be sorry. Dine in or take it to go. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more info.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
The old method of treatment for a person in this condition was to throw him in jail.
98.
My picture. Put a filter on it.
Buddy check.
And trust me, my filtered wang looks a lot like pictures I see on people's Facebook and Instagram anyway. Because your face, I can't tell what you are anymore, ladies. You're just big, blurry Vaseline blobs.
No eyebrows.
No eyebrows. There's like eyes that aren't human. Stop filtering so hard. Toledo! We'll find out some of the guesses, but people are definitely coming up with some very strange ones. Very strange stuff. You texted Kirby that you wished she was your daughter. Hey, the old pirate, your partner there's got a little fire in his belly for being my daddy. Just ignore it. There's a few that says you had to. Oh, this guy said, I had to step out of work. What was your embarrassing text? I've way oversold it. It's not even close to this good anymore, but we'll see.
You told your dad you're thinking about divorce and you sent it to Megan.
well, that's just bad all the way around. That's just life bad. Hey, I'm thinking about maybe knocking it. Whoops, I sent it to the person I'm going to knock off. That's ridiculous. Why would I send my dad that? Thinking about divorcing my dad?
Yeah.
Dad, I got to get rid of it.
How do they come up on the same text
I got to
thread?
make this all go away.
You texted
got a good
Father
taxidermy?
Dale?
I got to do some killing.
You texted Father Dale?
So here's the story.
Why do you have Father Dale's number?
Here's the story, and it's good. So we're drunk on game 1, Tuesday night. Game's over, having fun, walking around. I have a friend of mine say, I just saw so-and-so, a friend of ours mutually. He's here. It surprised me. And I'm like, well, have him join us. He's like, I don't have his number. And I'm like, I do. So I fire over to the friend this text. He's a buddy, not a great friend, but a guy we all know. And I fire the text over because he said, I just talked to him. I think. Pretty sure it was him. I'm like, all right. So I fire over the text. Meet me at Copper Blues. I've got a tab. Then back to my apartment for after drinks. The friend's name was Brandon. The mistake went to Brandon Lee of Channel 3.
Someone was sniffing around that on it.
Yeah, someone was sniffing. So at 10 o'clock on Tuesday night, Brandon Lee gets a text from me. Meet me at my apartment in an hour. Downtown. And I gave him the address. I'm not throwing that out there, but that was part of it. Come to Copper Blues and drink with me. Then back to my apartment for after-dinner drinks.
So?
Nothing.
No response?
So I text the next day when I realized, like, nobody responded. I'm like, oh, my God, I sent that to TV's very gay Brandon Lee. And I said, this was for a different friend named Brandon. I thought it was strange that he didn't show up, and now I see why. Sorry I confused you. Friday, still haven't heard anything from
You got
Brandon
iced
Lee.
by Brandon
Well,
Lee,
no,
huh?
because now he's thinking.
He's dealing with it.
Yeah, because he's like, he's wrestling with it. And he's wrestled with so much in this. Now, keep in mind, Brandon Lee's been wildly and openly flirting with me for like years now. And text me, if you were gay, I'd date you and all that stuff, because I'm one of those guys. The gays try to turn me all the time. Friday, I said, dude, still incredibly embarrassed. Sent this to the wrong person. Don't tell Ian, who's a mutual friend. I didn't mean it the way it sounded. And then finally, he texts back Friday night. Not sure what to make. I almost wrote back that night that you should slam another drink. Ha ha ha, no big deal. I'm like, oh, all week. All week. And all my friends about it have been sending me pictures of Brandon Lee, like on the news and stuff. And I've been stewing over this. Like, he's going to tell everyone I'm gay. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but for me, there's so much wrong with that. I don't want to be gay. It's horrifying.
I can't fight this.
But I can't. Like, he's got proof. And I'm like, who's he showing? Who's he asking? Is Holmberg, like, asking me to his apartment?
Proof.
Yeah. And now I've got, like, I can't get to him to make him stop. Like, he asked me to his apartment at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, and he gave me the address out of the blue. Right after the news was over.
Yeah, and then he's got an apartment with a dude.
Oh,
Well, he doesn't know it's with a dude. He doesn't know it's with a dude. He
I'm
just
just
thinks I've
saying
got a...
your background now.
Well, sure, but he thinks I've got a apartment in town.
Right as he's wrapping up
For
with
gay activities.
Yetta that night,
Yeah.
pops up the phone.
Yeah. Hey, Yetta, what do you make of this? Oh, that guy's trying to bone you.
He's got a DL Play Center.
It is. And I would have rather sent a dick pic to you than tell Brandon Lee to meet me for drinks at 10 on a Tuesday. Because it's romantic.
You want some of this?
It's love. You want a piece of this puzzle? It's ready.
Meet me at the apartment.
So who would you
in
rather
an
at the
hour.
apartment be shirtless, Doug Hopkins or Brandon Lee standing
What would
there?
have been awesome is if at like 10:30, Hopkins, who's asleep on the couch, bombed. And a few people mingling around. And somebody knocks on the door, and it's Brandon in a suit with a bottle of champagne, like, I'm here. I'm like, no, you don't understand.
Not now, mascara boy.
I got to go through with it. It's just wrong not to.
Oh, he shows up with a signed copy of his book.
Hey, I got a gift out of it. It's like dating Jeter. It was awful. It was 3 days of awful. And it made me realize that I'm still worried about that kind of stuff getting out. I'm not as woke as I thought I was. I don't want people thinking I'm gay.
What's with the feather boa in the place?
It happened.
Nice apartment. Thanks. What are you doing here? You text me and asked me. I did? Oh, it's horrifying. And the fact he wouldn't respond was such a girl thing to do.
Great, he was icing you.
Well, I'm getting more information,
it's
but
garbage.
Michael is the one that guessed that you sent a dick pic to Brandon Lee.
I didn't send a dick pic. I don't
So
send dick
it's
pics.
close. We're
Closest.
giving him. We're giving him.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
For you typing the words,
Subs.
you
Get
sent a
some
dick
subs.
pic to Brandon Lee, you get a sandwich.
Michael's also the texter that said he was going through chemotherapy right now and that he'd rather extend his treatment 6 months than go on the Montana trip with me.
Oh, so rough. Keep having cancer than going
Keep giving me chemo.
as a winner. So, and the weird thing was just a few days earlier, Brandon had like midnight to tell me that he did a podcast with a listener who, when Brandon was on our show live that day and talked about his story, this guy was sitting in a car on heroin. And Brandon's time on our show got that guy to say, I got to stop this.
Wow.
And so Brandon did a podcast with that guy and sent me the clip of it. It's really good, too, and I don't know the name of it. So that was Brandon and I had like a soulful interaction just days earlier of like, that's awesome. I'm glad. And said the
And
words.
then you're finally like, you know what? I'm going for it.
So the words prior, like, I mean, literally, the texts before were so like, I was gay bro down. And Brandon's a great guy. I like him a lot, but not that much. But I said, I basically told him too. I'm like, this is awesome that this happened. I'm glad we connected, you know. And he's like, if you can just reach one person, I'm like, that's great. I think it's amazing that this occurred. You're a good person. I'm glad you told your story. I'm glad you trusted me. I appreciate that and all that. And so we have this kind of moment. And the very next thing he hears from me is, hey, bro, meet me at my apartment at 10 o'clock for drinks.
So his podcast is
Oh, it makes me shudder.
his podcast is the Not So Anonymous podcast.
Yeah, and that's the dude.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. I listened to it. It's great. And it was a great story.
Yeah.
But then we have this like heartfelt like chat about, depression and stuff like that, and talking about, I'm like, look, the chronic pain I've been in, I didn't realize until just Tuesday how much I've been wandering around aching and this nonsense. And thank God I found this. These people at the core have helped me with so much stuff. And you realize that it did lead you down a lot of bad paths, this pain thing. So I've been diagnosed with depression and, social anxiety, which I knew I had, and general anxiety and all that. And I've been dealing with that.
Trying to get some bucket list items out.
Yeah. And so I figured, why not blow a newsman? And then
Check.
worse still, an hour later, I text Craig Fooey, why don't you come up too?
Leave the mask.
And then Fooey like immediately, okay. Let's do it on TV. Okay. Oh, it was awful. I just wanted to sell that. The tease was stronger than the story, but the story's strong. And you text your, the one like most known gay news anchor in the town that you want to have meet you at this apartment that you shouldn't have in the first place. Now it's a reputation. I went home and I told Megan, and she's like, I'm like, what's this? This isn't funny. This is awful.
I'm in trouble.
I got trouble on my hands. This guy's going to go public with me. Now, what if he declared his love for me like the next day in the news? Very possible.
Did you sell the tickets? Yeah, you gotta sell those tickets. I don't care. Blow Brandon Lee if you have to.
I might. Anywho, what are you going to do? So to Brandon and all the folks at Channel 3, terrible error. I'm sorry. Had I had Yetta Gibbs' number, I would have actually asked for real. I got a thing for her. Outside of that, Brandon's a very attractive man. Not for me! So if you do get a text from me in the middle of the night, and you know what the worst part is? You know who the Brandon I was trying to text was? Brandon Love.
Oh,
You invited him?
No, but I wanted to see someone in the
I was taking Brandon Lee over Brandon Love. And it turns out he wasn't even there.
He's like, bring your stirrups and your glove.
Right. Well, I'm sure he was dressed up like Derek Jeter for no reason. Oh, it's what he does. But Brandon Love, who works here, I guess, does he? I don't even know if he does anymore.
Sort of, yeah.
He shows up every once in a while. Yeah, Brandon Love, Brandon L. And somebody said, I just saw Brandon Love. I'm like, you did? Like, yeah, bring him. I'm like, yeah, let's get him over. And I his number. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I text Brandon Lee to come meet me for drinks in my house.
You picked the right one to text, actually.
Yeah, he did.
Why is Brandon Love so
I
bad?
agree that. I agree.
See?
You'd have gotten locked into some kind of tax. No government.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that stuff. He's a
Yeah.
libertarian. He's fun.
Good
He's
fantasy league.
not in the way that you are.
Toledo got all social with it. You don't like Brandon Lee either? Or Love? Sorry, see, I did it again.
No, I love Brandon Love. He's fine.
Doesn't sound like a ringing endorsement. You text the right one. Anyway, sorry to Brandon Lee.
And Brandon Love.
And not so much Brandon Love.
Lee and Love.
It turned out somebody was wrong. Like the guy who thought he saw him and talked to him. I don't even think he was there.
Oh.
When I started doing the math, I'm like, Brandon Love can't afford this down here tonight.
And then we're going to Vegas.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. Oh, God, it was so awkward. So anyway, if Brandon Lee's been telling you I'm gay, and I've been hitting on him, he's wrong. But if you go through our
He's got the proof.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing I want eliminated. That's why I'm going public. I'm outing myself. I'm outing myself as super straight right now. Like I'm so heteros. And if he tells you
Like,
different,
I hope they don't see the rest of the discussion.
Oh, there's tons of it. I'll show it all. I'll disclose the whole thing, except this video he sent me. When it was him in front of the fires. And I'm like, oh, it's Flaming Brandon Lee. Thanks for the photo. And he goes, well played. But yeah, that was the last thing we text. Flaming Brandon. And then Copper Blues. My place after for drinks. Good Christ. It makes me uncomfortable now. So congratulations to the guy that said I sent a dick pic to TV's Brandon Lee. You get sandwiches from Porta Subs. And thanks, Porta Subs, for housing that kind of classy material for you. Anyway, it's 8:38. We got What Would Brady Do coming up next. I'm going to go wash. It's 98.
Hey, it's not weird. It's pretty cool, actually. No membership fee.
I have heard enough of this.
UPD.
Yeah, people are very much on the... If Brandon Lee showed up with Snickles, I would have had to let him in at that point. That's pretty solid. Yeah. It's brutal. But yeah, we're saying they're going to contact Brandon for me and make sure it's all straight.
Straight being the key word.
That's right. Okay. And somebody texted over and said, Norm Macdonald's old joke applies here. It's like, hey, you know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being gay, unless, of course, you're straight, and then it's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. And that's how I feel. So I apologize to Brandon on this. And I do like that I discovered that nobody here in the room except me and maybe Brady likes Brandon Love. I don't know. I know his ex-wife hated us something fierce. Like, that ex-wife of Brandon's was...
Which one?
He is too?
No.
Oh. No, she told me at the Christmas party, remember?
Yeah.
And Brandon calls me over, goes, I want you to meet her. I'm like, okay. Comes over, and she, like, first words out of her mouth, I hate you. I'm like, really? No, I don't like you at all. Like, whoa.
Why would you bring
I
somebody?
don't know. I'm like, Brandon, why did you do this?
See, there you go.
You know what? You're right. Why did I even try to text this?
What the hell's your problem?
This guy. And it was just on rumor that he was around. Just because I wanted to be nice. I wanted to celebrate. It was one of those moments after game one. Everybody was so happy. It's like, more the merrier. So you're right. What was I thinking? She's going to introduce me to people that don't like me. I mean, she came to the Christmas party to make a point.
Big fan, John. You got to meet her.
He never said that.
I know.
I can't stand you. Okay, well, seriously.
Thanks for being here.
Like, yeah, thanks for all that. You couldn't fake it for 5 seconds. It's a goddamn Christmas party. Satan. Anyway, you got rid of that. and actually, as we were walking from, she's going to be, trust me, dude, this is going to go bad. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And he goes, I don't know. I don't like her either. And he told me to
Your husband said the same thing about you.
Yeah, I should have said, but but I'm a decent human being. Because I looked at her and I'm like, well, you're no charmer here. I don't like you either then. Fine, good.
Merry Christmas.
You are, hope you have a great crowd. I hope your Christmas tree burns your house down. Jerk.
So long, Krampus.
I know, back pulling a sack of batteries and I'm going to hit you in the face with. Jerk. Hey, what the hell was I texting that guy for in the first place getting to this thing? God damn it. Anyway, what are you going to do? We got What Would Brady Do coming up. A couple of them poured in here just recently, and they're not good. They're bad.
Uh-oh.
I'm not comfortable.
Texting bad?
Oh, no, they spelled everything right. What do you mean?
Texting Brandon Lee bad?
Oh, and then somebody sees Toledo on the road with the Touareg. It's worse than I imagined.
Fresh.
I'll post the picture. I'll post that out there. Yeah.
It was a 5x5 U-Haul.
Or even on the road.
On the back edge of a Touareg.
Maybe 40 minutes.
20-footer.
That wasn't a 20-footer.
20-footer.
Where's the last 8 feet?
Legit 20 feet.
I don't see 20 feet
It's
hanging.
in the rearview mirror. How much of it do you think
It made the Touareg look big.
Didn't make the Touareg look
I saw a big Touareg. Like
it was a low rider.
Pop tent.
And Joe, the guy that took the picture, he's like, man, that thing was struggling.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's at 20 feet of nothing.
20-footer.
I don't see 20 feet in that. You can't even stand up straight in that thing.
Luckily, it was all-wheel drive because the front wheels were up the entire time.
Yeah, they
Not even
saw
touching
you.
the road.
Somebody took a picture. How did this person recognize just that giant jack-in-the-box driving on the road?
said that morning it's going to be a mini Winnie pulled by a Touareg. How many?
Well, I mean, who took a photo of that not knowing? Now.
Oh, he knew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. How did he know? Oh, there's a Touareg in him. Well, of course it's you. Of course. What am I saying?
Who's the dude doing 35
Yeah,
on
you
the
see
highway?
a guy in a Volkswagen tugging a 5,000-pound pop tent on a
Safe
Touareg.
travels. Thanks, Joe.
This is Toledo's dumbass. He's wrecking the 303, which has never got anybody on it in the first place. He still managed to clog up traffic. Big Head's ruining the 303.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. And it just looks... That picture's in a mirror and a guy passing you, and it looks
What are you doing
awful.
in the passing lane?
Yeah. Is he?
No. I'm in the right next to the shoulder. Trust me, I wasn't in the passing lane.
Yeah, it's the mirrors.
I wasn't
The mirrors
anywhere near
reversed.
it.
Yeah. It does look like he's coming up strong on the outside. What's top speed in the Touareg tugging that tent?
70 on flat ground.
Oh, all the way to Montana and back. That thing was struggling. German engineering, it's the only way to do it. Of course they knew it was you. Who else tows something with a Volkswagen?
St. George or bust.
Yeah. You and Hitler, the only two people who have ever towed massive groups. Terrible. That picture is fantastic. Anyway, still, I'd rather blow Brandon Lee in the middle of a Tuesday in front of people than go on that trip with.
In a rearview mirror.
And that's a win, though. If you are going to go gay, go for the king of the city, I say. We got a What Would Brady Do? That's coming up in just moments. It's 90 UPD.
Hey, it's not weird. It's pretty cool, actually. No membership fee.
I have heard enough of this.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.